Hello everybody, welcome back to another Monday trucking stream. How is everyone doing on this wonderful Monday afternoon, as it is over here? I got some cool stuff to talk about today. A lot of cool news that's dropped and just interesting stuff going on in my world as well. So yeah, hopefully a good time. Hope you all enjoy. Alrighty. Let me get my tunes on. I need my tunes. I was given a very interesting piece of criticism recently. I am really getting my mileage out of the Stray soundtrack. So I need to shake things up a little bit, and I have a plan. I have an idea of exactly the kind of music I'm going to put in. You see, actually, let me switch over to Hangouts first. Hello! Hi, everyone. We are back. So something I used to do long before RE Melody Live and on an old alias yonder ago, I used to use the Pikuniku soundtrack extensively. Now I am a LARPer. I haven't actually played Pikuniku yet, but it is of interest. I would love to play Pikuniku on stream, especially given they announced a sequel recently during a Nintendo Direct. So, I mean, if we're gonna play the first, we're gonna have to play the sequel eventually. I don't even know when that drops, to be completely honest. I don't remember. Was announced date given, but we gotta at least play one. It's gotta happen. Are you LARP girl? That's fucked. That's so evil. The Stray OST is literally so RE-core. It's become very RE-core. I mean, look, I did pick my favorite songs that I thought fit the vibe the best, and I got good mileage out of it. I have 24 tracks in this playlist. Sorry, 23. I can't read. Yeah, 23 tracks in here. So like we get decent runtime. I think, yeah, the whole playlist is 47 minutes long, so this only loops like 3 times. But I can see why people would be like, maybe you should have some different, more unique vibes every once in a while, you know? You know, you can't be doing that forever. I should click the link, I think. Oh my god, you're posting fucking screenshot links in my chat. Ladder, I'm banning you from chat. You're actually getting timed out for that one. Fucking asshole. Anyways. Right. I have news. I have some news. Very exciting news. Let me make sure my screen is clear so I could show y'all the news. I have to tee up my desktop for this one, actually. And get rid of that. I'll leave that in, actually. Make sure my screen is A-okay. Everything.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
That's right. It is time to drink water. You know the deal. If you have water with you, you should drink it. And if you don't have water, you should go get some, because water's good for you. Fuck yeah, baby. Right. The news. I have news. This, for those who don't know, somehow, is my VODs channel. it is youtube.com/@REMelodyLive. And in fact, hold on, I have links here. I'm supposed to mention this at the beginning of streams, but I've fallen off this. So I'm going to do, here we go. Here's the VOD channel. You can go to it and you can subscribe to it. And there's actually good reason to, because everyone, I've finally done it. Off the back of the GIMP stream from last week, I now have a very fitting thumbnail template that I can use across all of my VOD thumbnails. And you can see here, we've already got new VODs. We were originally held off on Outer Wilds Part 9, the finale of that, back in March. And there have been no uploads since, but we have new ones. And I don't know if you've noticed, these are incremental, they're going daily. We have many more VODs that are due to come out over the next couple weeks, and I am fucking delighted, including the golf stream that I did the other day. In case y'all want to see me play golf, you can see me play golf in the golf stream. And also me using GIMP. That was a fun time, and is the whole fucking reason why this has happened, because, as I said in the GIMP stream, part of my rationale behind it, the specific project I embarked on, was I find making thumbnails very, very tedious, mostly because I have to switch to a whole different computer just to do them, because I used to do all my thumbnails in Affinity Photo. I think Affinity Photo might have been Designer, but I think it was Affinity Photo. And that famously doesn't work that well on Linux. So I'd have to switch over to my MacBook, which sucks because it's completely separate from the system that I stream on, that I play the game on, and would ordinarily be still sitting on for the remainder of the night after I'm done streaming. So this is the solution. We just use GIMP. So I'm fucking delighted. Every single one of these VODs, since the hiatus, everything that has not gone out yet is now due to go out because of my new thumbnail pipeline. I am very happy, and I hope y'all enjoy the streams. In case you missed any, in case you missed the Nier Automata series, I do think you should play the game yourself, and I mentioned this multiple times. You will get spoiled. I play a lot. I finish ending A in episode 10. I finish ending B in episode 15. You are going to want to play the game and then watch me play it if you want to see my reaction or relive it or what have you. There's so much stuff here. So many trucking streams, an abundance of them. Every Jamboree that we missed since then. We have Jamboree 6 coming out tomorrow, actually. The Winter Space Girl. I hope you like the thumbnail that I got for this one, by the way. Lots of trucking streams. Little Inferno, wrapping that up finally. Hightail Jamboree, that was fun. Lots and lots of Nier and trucking. That's most of what I've been doing the past while. Jamboree 8, Aria of the Melodiel. For those who remember this Rich Up stream, this is the one with the Shenzhen Gambit. If you have not seen the Shenzhen Gambit, you're going to want to see the Shenzhen Gambit. It is the funniest fucking bit that has ever occurred in a Rich Up stream, Rich Up session, streamed or otherwise, in my entire life. Fucking hilarious, and it will be going live July 6th. So I'm very, very excited about that. My learning series, Aria's Learning. This is an entirely separate thing. I have the Ari Melody Live tag on it, though I should probably switch that for something else. But I am actually considering bringing that in. I don't know. We'll talk about it maybe during the trucking, but I am debating if more tech-focused streams should be under Ari Melody Live, or should that label stick more for gaming stuff, because there's something kind of exciting about that name, but Aria's Learning is very thematic, right? I don't know, because I've already done a GIMP stream now using the Ari Melody Live name, so I don't know. These also weren't streamed on Twitch. These were done on Streamplace, so there's that too. More trucking, more Nier, Deadlock with friends. Oh yes, this was the comeback week when I just did a whole bunch of streams throughout the week. Yeah, and another Jamboree, more Minecraft UHC and Rich Up. That was fun. And GIMP and golf. The golf one's fun. Golf was fun. I want to play Wii games again on stream. That'd be really, really fun. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited. Subscribe to the VOD channel. I'm going to paste it in chat again so you can subscribe to it. Also, another thing that I am supposed to mention is the Discord, the R Melody Discord. If you're not on the Discord somehow, I'm pretty sure everyone in this chat is in the Discord, but just in case you aren't, it's the #1 place to hear about everything going on with me, with streams, videos, music, you name it, and you can join it with this link right over here. Right. That's the news. That's the mentions. Do I have anything else to mention? Oh, funny note as well. The GIMP stream goes live on my birthday, which is really amusing. Of all the streams to go live on that very exciting day, it's me using GIMP. It was a good stream, to be fair. I'm happy. I've seen Steam Machine Prize. We will get to that when we're trucking. That is a good topic for today, though. That is actually something I would like to talk about. I need to launch the game. Unfortunately, I just launched Steam. I neglected to launch Euro Truck Simulator in the preamble because I had to deal. Whoa, no! Vulkan shaders killed Aridoodle again. Can we stop doing this? Yeah, I already mentioned before. I do not envy the effort. Well, sorry, I heavily respect and do not envy the efforts put in by VedoTube's like sole developer, as I understand it. It's like 1 or maybe 2 people, as I understand it. Because apparently what's gone wrong here is a fault in a library that is no longer maintained. So the developer has to either find an alternative or re-implement the library themselves. I certainly wouldn't enjoy doing that, but you know, I might actually ask them in the thread. I'm gonna make a note real quick, sorry, just while the game is launching. I should ask the developer, hey, does this happen in like VedoTube Full? Because if it doesn't happen to VedoTube Full, that's a perfect excuse for me to just go buy it. Why isn't my mouse getting captured when I hover over my notes? What the fuck? Whoa, what? Euro Truck Simulator is stealing my mouse, and it's not stealing my mouse anymore. What the fuck was that? Okay, whatever. Added to do. VedoTube notes. Oh my god, please. Ask dev if crash issue happens in full. If not, buy the damn thing. Oh wait, it's not buy. It's like you subscribe to their, I think their Ko-Fi, and then you get like regular releases from that. But that's fine. That's okay actually, because it's an actively developed piece of software from a small dev, and you know, that'd be cool. Right. For topics of discussion, we have also passed the Tadsy Grace window. We have. Handily at that. That's a good point. Probably do Steam Machine first, because I don't know. Actually, you know what? Let's do a quick experiment. I'm not gonna say anything about the game. Sorry, I'm looking at Euro Truck. I'm not gonna say anything about the finale, but if you care about the show and haven't seen the finale, can you type 1 in chat? And if you do care about the show and have seen it, type 2. I was really slow with that. Apologies. Sentences are hard. Okay, yeah, most of you have seen it. It seems like we are in safe company here. That's great. That's wonderful. Oh, what? Louder? You have it. Oh yeah, poll, actually. I forget. There's literally polling. There's literally polling. All right, let's get back in the wheel. Content change detected. Oh, is there an update? That explains why Vulkan shaders are recompiling again. I have other things to do, unfortunately. Backups don't magically appear. That's fucked. That's honestly fucked. Put me back in Amsterdam. It's half the length of the Ari stream. You can make it. We probably won't talk about it, at least not for this point in the stream. We'll wait a bit, I think. 15 tons of motorcycles? Don't mind if I do. Right. What I will talk about, though, is turning my volume down a little bit, actually. I'd like the music to be a tad quieter. Just a touch. Just a smidge. Actually, I wonder, is my gain just, like, too loud? Maybe that's it. Yeah, what we will talk about first is, yeah, Steam Machine. No, we won't. Because I have a very, very brief note first. Your girl's officially employed, baby. I'm so fucking big and jobful. Yeah, so I'm getting schmunners. I haven't been paid just yet because I literally just started today. But it is the place that I was interning at previously, and they want to be back. So, hooray! Oh god. In this accursed software job market, I got a job, which is great. Because I was slowly starting to actually run through the massive savings pool that I had built through that internship. Not to say they paid massively, but I'm incredibly fucking stingy. And thankfully live at home, so I have a lot of nice things going for me at the moment. And I have been putting a chunk of that, though, over the past couple months towards supporting artists and buying the occasional really cool tech thing here and there. But mostly supporting artists. In fact, you know what else I get to talk about? A thing that I'm not in a position to show you just yet, but it's very much underway. I have commissioned my first Ari Melody artwork, like Ari Melody adjacent artwork. Those of my close friend circles know the last time that I commissioned a piece was a song I had made on my old alias, pre-Ari Melody, you know, years ago. Years and years and years ago. I think it was 2017 or something, and it was just someone I happened to know in a Discord server. And they made cool art, and I commissioned them for it, and it was all well and good, all wonderful. But I haven't commissioned artists since. So it was kind of nerve-wracking going back in, but I've also learned a lot since then. I've learned a lot more just of like artists' perspectives, and I've heard from a lot of people who have fulfilled commissions and paid for commissions, you name it. And I've learned a hell of a lot in that area. So I at least knew going in, it's like, okay, I can be very, very particular about the art that I want. I do have, even if I can't necessarily manifest it at the moment, my art skill isn't quite there. I would need to spend a lot more time honing it. I do have an eye for detail. So, like, I could scroll through a mountain list of artists, and it would take me a very, very long time to find one who I'm willing to trust, not just money with, but with my identity in a way, you know? So it was a little nerve-wracking. But the artists, I left them off for, I think their lead time was around 10 days or something average. I let them cook. Oh, they cooked. Oh, they cooked. A couple of my friends have seen the completed work. The reason I'm not showing it yet is it's actually a character design sheet. And I figure there's kind of no point in me showing you the design sheet without the subsequent works based off that design. And one of the things I am looking into is a VTuber model. A full live 2D Ari Melody VTuber model. So as exciting as that is, that's about the most I'm going to be able to tell you about that for quite some time, because there's, again, a very particular artist that I am looking at the moment, and I'm on their waitlist, and even once I'm out of that waitlist, their fulfillment time averages minimum 2 to 3 months. So see you guys next year when I have my new model. Yeah, we're gonna be with the Ari Doodle for quite some time yet, but oh boy, that artist cooked. I am so fucking excited for that. You guys have no idea. So I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it. But yeah, that's what a decent chunk of my remaining savings have gone to, actually, is, you know, hiring a commission artist to do the design. I gave them like a ref sheet of what I had in mind, and once I debut, I'll go through all those details, because that's going to be like so cool to dive through, right? To sink your teeth in live. I should probably turn on my lights, yeah? Yeah, I should probably turn on my lights. There we go, and not crash into anyone. That's also ideal. Oh, you know what? My my steering is also like completely off because I don't have oversteer. I always forget oversteer. Okay, let's see, does this actually work? Yeah, that's way better. Much smoother and much more like actually where the wheel is. Prefer that. But yeah, a lot of the money's gone to artist support, and I've been supporting a lot of artists quite a bit. And it has started to, you know, I'm starting to feel it now, officially. So it's kind of wonderful timing for me to be going back in. So, yeah. I will be busier than usual, but I don't suspect it's actually going to impact streams too much. I think we're going to be pretty okay. Keep in mind, I started RE Melody Live while I was working at this same place. And from what I'm getting on the ground, day one, it doesn't look like a whole lot's gonna change. The only difference is I'm on a more full-time... No, sorry, not more full-time contract. It was already full-time. But I'm on a proper long-term contract is what I meant to say. And maybe slightly better pay? So, even more money I could use to support artists. A leaf I've taken very much out of Julia's book, actually. My wonderful girlfriend, whom I love and adore. If you are in a position where you are quite fortunate, especially right now, and especially just, you know, who we are and the circles that we're in, it's more important than ever to pay it forward, you know? So, like, I donate to open source projects because I rely on them, and they mean a lot to me that they even fucking exist. And I donate to artists, or you know, buy the works of artists, because I really fucking care about what they do, especially right now. Like, holy shit, we are in a time where we really, really need artists. So I'm delighted we have them, and I want to make sure they continue to exist. And a great way to ensure that people continue to exist, by the way, guys, is making sure they have a home and food. That tends to be really good for morale and creativity. So, yeah, paying it forward if you have the means. Oh, of course, also not stretching yourself. Like, if I did run through my funds and I was basically running on fumes, I would have pulled a lot of support. But it would have only been like, until I'm back on the ground again and have the means to sustainably do that again. So long as I'm not paying some fat fucking AI company, that is A-okay with me. Because I blame them for a lot of this shit. The current stage of this shit, this, you know, consolidation of wealth has been going on for a long time before AI came around. It just gave them a fantastic excuse to do it even more. So, you know. The place you're going to is pronounced in a hilarious way. Oh, I didn't even read that. How the fuck do you pronounce that then? Somewhere in Poland? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, no, you lost me. I got no fucking idea. Ari has a summon wife button bound to the Steam controller via Steam input. It's huge. Girl, I wish. If it has a teleport function, I'll fucking buy 1 million of them. But yeah, so that's the news. I'm big and jobful again. and it will hopefully not impact streams. In fact, I think I'm going to be in an even better state than I've ever been, because college is over now, right? I mean, I talked about this when in the comeback stream on that Monday, that fateful Monday when I came back. Like, now that I don't have to deal with that shit anymore, I'm in like a remarkably good position to like get my life in a far more stable position, time and energy wise, because my shifts are going to be very consistent. The work is relaxed enough. I haven't gone through anything too, like, crazy strenuous. The only thing I could see getting in the way is, like, if I get on-call hours, I won't be able to stream during that, of course. But, like, how often is that going to be, right? So, yeah, I think we're in a really good position right now. And I'm very hopeful and excited for the future, which is great. I'm fucking delighted. College was a heaping pile of shit and I hated it, but it wasn't necessarily because, oh, education sucks or whatever. It's because the specific people I had to deal with sometimes just take a lot out of you, you know? Okay. Right, so, Steam Machine. We were literally watching a Linus Tech Tips review on that in voice chat before I hopped into screen share? No, we were watching it in screen share before I hopped on stream. Yeah, I literally just heard about it like when I got home. I'm like, oh shit. For one, someone said Steam Machine tomorrow and it actually fucking came true. That's insane. Yeah. My brief 2 cents, I am not buying it, not because it's too expensive, but because of the PC sitting right next to me. It's not like a massively market upgrade from what I currently have. It would not be necessary. But also the price. And that's not to any disfavor of Valve. I've seen a lot of... I mean... I'm gonna ignore most internet opinions for the next couple weeks, I think, especially on that subject. But as far as I'm concerned, they did what they could with what they have. We are in a very weird, not weird, horrible, let's call it what it is. We're in a very fucking horrible economic and it's particularly a tech economy situation right now, where everything is a computer and everything needs silicon, so the demand is really high, and then the AI industry just came in and was like, huh, I'm going to take all of this, and then they fucking ate all of the RAM. So that whole area is kind of fucked right now. Like, memory is fucked, storage is fucked, CPUs are about to get fucked. GPUs have been fucked since crypto. That never really recovered, and it got infinitely worse after the AI boom. So I think they did what they could with what they had, and honestly, I thought it was going to be more expensive. For what it's worth, I definitely agree that if you are upgrading to that system or side grading, or, you know, if you are just buying the system, like $1,000 for a 0.5 terabyte machine is a fucking really tough pill to swallow. Because if you just want a game console, there are much cheaper game consoles that have 0.5 terabyte or more. And if you want a computer, the MacBook Neo exists, right? For way less. Like, it's really rough. It's really rough. Basically, the only reason you're buying it is because it comes preloaded with SteamOS, or you really like Valve's sauce. But if you're like me and you've already got the gaming PC, I just bought a Steam controller. I don't need that, and I'm certainly not paying $1,000 for the privilege. It's really, yeah, the form factor, yes. Yeah, that's another good reason to buy it. The performance per liter is what I was saying when we were talking about it. Performance per liter looks fucking fire. It may not be the best of the best, but again, think of the fucking form factor you're working in. It's really cool. I'm happy that it exists. The only thing that I can hope for from Valve is that when this AI bubble finally pops and the markets do finally recover, that the price of that gets knocked down like substantially. Either that or that, you know, they just don't maintain that price with the rate of inflation. So like when the markets recover, the buying power for a Steam machine will become a lot more pleasant, I suppose. Once I get a job, I'm definitely setting up for a Steam machine to replace my Steam Deck as a PC. My deck is too little storage. Yeah, that's fair. I'm considering getting it, but I don't need it at the moment. I mean, like, yeah, it's a great portable PC. So is a laptop, depending on what you're looking for exactly. It's one of the things I really do like about the computing space is you can just make computers do things, and you can just put them into all sorts of little form factors. So like you have the full tower PC desktop, you have the mini tower PC, like the Steam machine or smaller NUC or what have you. You have a laptop which has all of the peripherals in one thing, which is usually more expensive for the same performance, but is like really fucking convenient to have. Or you've got the console, like the handheld console as a PC. Like, I do like that quite a bit. Valve is known as a good company, and that'll have many people just trust the configuration. Absolutely. And a good point was made in the LTT video. I have some things I did not like about the LTT video, which I was sure to voice earlier, and I'll voice them here because why not? But a good point that was made, and this is kind of known for a bit, is if that becomes a popular like desktop configuration, like, you know, if it's popular in Steam surveys, then that's going to automatically make a whole bunch of studios optimize at minimum for a Steam machine configuration. So if your PC is like on the level of or just is the Steam machine, it should run most games fine in the coming years. If there are existing games that do not run well on it, expect them to be optimized to run better on it. Is something you can fairly safely assume for any studio that actually gives a shit. And for any studio that doesn't give a shit, I would recommend not buying their games. Basically. Money where your mouth is, vote with your wallet, all that jazz, right? Also good for people who don't want to configure stuff or do research. Yes, as a pre-built, it is a fantastic system as well, yes. I'm just looking for a thing that is just a console and an excuse to move my deck to my bedroom. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. Honestly, just like Steam machine in the living room makes so much fucking sense, especially when you pair it with a Steam controller. Pretty much only makes sense if you pair it with a Steam controller, to be completely honest, but yeah. I don't even watch LTT anymore. Yeah, so I've been watching them less, and right, of course, I forgot to talk about my my gripe. I've noticed over months, maybe even a year or so at this point, particularly with the AI boom, like it kind of started with us when I started noticing this, and I don't know how long Linus has been like this, but I really don't like the like tech liberalism that he seems to have. A techno-liberalism, I guess, where he's just like, well, you may not like this thing, but it's here, and it's here to stay. Like, no, dude. He did it in the fucking review where he was saying, oh, ray tracing performance on the Steam machine is really not that great, but like it or loathe it, RTX is going to be in a lot of games, and if your computer doesn't support ray tracing, the game may require it in the future, and you may not be able to play the game otherwise. It's like, no, you can just say we should stop leaning on ray tracing. Like, you don't have to do this fucking like it or loathe it thing. You don't have to be so fucking neutral. Maybe he's riled like too many feathers up by having an opinion. But I also say he's riling feathers by not having an opinion. It's fucking weird. It seems like he was leaning on he's not a fan of it, but he seems to also just be accepting that it's happening. And it's like, it's the same thing with fucking AI. Like, dude, you can say the thing is bad and stand with it. You don't have to go, oh, but you gotta hand it to them. They're fucking doing it anyway. No, dude. Say you don't want this. Make it fucking clear. Don't engage with people and products that make your life worse. This has been bothering me for so long. Have principles, man. Yeah, kind of deal. And I don't know if the idea is to have more audience appeal or if that is genuinely just the way he thinks. I really hope it isn't, because I think I used to be like that years ago, but I was insufferable years ago in like so many different ways, so I wouldn't want someone else to be like that. I remember when I got my current GPU, thanks Oofs, and was testing out ray tracing, and I was just like the pirate, Patchy the pirate from SpongeBob going, that's it! Yeah, my experience with ray tracing was quite different. And hear me out on this one, because I'm going to sound really positive at first. So, this is a fucking massive fluke of luck, to be clear. I took part in a hackathon with my college, with a couple friends, and one of the prizes that were available was they didn't really have a name for it, they just said, one Dell laptop. I'm like, cool. Most of the other prizes were like, they're all right, but actually no, I think it was just the one. I think it was just like, yeah, number one prize is that laptop, and then everyone else gets like to be part of the photo, I guess. It was kind of weird. It seemed like they were just getting rid of old stock that they just had lying around, and they literally told us at the end, it's like, yeah, no, we just had this in a box. We do not know what model it was. I won the thing, which was like, wow, that's crazy. It was a hackathon, and you get like a whole bunch of basically raffle tickets for each point that you got, and our team got a shitload of points because we're fucking based. And one of my tickets got pulled. They gave me a fucking Alienware with an RTX card in it. And I did not know until I opened the fucking thing, and I was like, holy shit! They do not know what they had. They literally did not know. They just knew it was from Dell, and it was sitting somewhere in cold storage. No one had picked it up. So whatever purpose it was going to have, it never did. So they repurposed it and just gave it away. So I just had that fucking computer, which was very strange, because I already at this point had my MacBook Air, which I was very happy with and already doing all of my college stuff on, and I already had my gaming PC, which, well, now had a slightly worse GPU than the laptop I just won. I was on a GTX 1660 Super at the time. This thing had a fucking RTX 3060 Mobile, I want to say. So, yeah. First thing I tried out on that laptop, because that was the first RTX machine I've ever owned. Of course, I'm pulling up Minecraft RTX, I'm pulling up Portal RTX, and I'm like, ooh, ooh, shiny. 8 brains going, ooh, shiny, I love shiny. I love the way the reflections do this thing. And even with all of its flaws, keep in mind, this is like fucking V1 ray tracing. I think we might have had DLSS 2, maybe, if that. So it was pretty mid, to be completely honest. But the novelty was there. And I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. So eventually I was like, well, it doesn't make sense for my PC to be the weaker link here, so I upgraded. CPU was already fine, I think, at the time, so I just upgraded the GPU, got myself my current card, a 3060 Ti, I believe. And, you know, I went unga bunga, shiny lights a lot more. And then I forgot about it. I just, you know, used my computer the way I normally do. I continued playing mostly the same games, because as prissy as Portal RTX is, as prissy as Minecraft RTX is, I didn't really necessarily enjoy playing the game with it on. Like, it really fucked with my frame rates. It was pretty fuzzy a lot of the time. Like, I don't know, if you haven't used RTX, or if you haven't used ray tracing, real-time ray tracing, it's a little hard to know what I'm talking about unless you've seen it in front of you. But there's this weird kind of artifacting where, like, it's path trace slicing, but it takes a lot of shortcuts. Hold on real quick. Wait, hold on. I should see how long is left in this delivery. Should I even sleep right now? I might need to. Oh, wait, no, I got 22 hours. Yeah, I'm fine. Cool. All right. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, it's path tracing, but it takes a lot of shortcuts. So it's not gonna do like a fucking Blender render to your image right out the gates. What it does is it casts a whole bunch of different rays, kind of at random, and it like continues adding more rays over time. And assuming you don't move your camera too much, you get like a decent amount of the like a lot of the detail is retained. Of course, if you spin all the way around, you reset that data from scratch, because none of those points have been like rendered and cached yet. So you have to deal with this weird kind of, how do I explain it? It's like the image boils. Yeah, I think they call it boiling. Like a boiling effect, where you watch this weird splotchy image slowly take form on stuff that you haven't seen in a while, or that's been out of your periphery for a moment. And it looks pretty ugly when you're turning around like that. So like the edges of your screen, because you're usually turning your camera, right? The edges of your screen are like constantly weird and warbly, and it looks kind of shit. And the idea is, like, you know, we'll smooth it over. Oh, sorry. Blech. There is also a pass in most, especially real-time ray tracing applications, called the denoising step. Because here's the thing, if you're just tracing a bunch of like pixel-sized rays, you're gonna have a really, really grainy, staticky image. So a denoiser usually comes in to clean up a lot of the artifacting and whatnot. And it's actually that denoiser that causes the kind of boiling effect. Because no matter what, if you move your camera, it's going to reset a lot of the data. Kind of the RTX sauce is that it uses AI and whatever, some machine learning model, to kind of guesstimate, oh, well, you only turn your camera this much, so we can just shift around some of the pixels that we got from a previous frame and just use them for this one. But everything outside of your periphery has to be rendered from scratch, which is where that weird kind of like detail pop-in comes in. And then with the denoiser on top, it gives that weird boiling, smudging effect. So like that's the RTX that I was putting up with. So naturally, between that and the frames being worse and the resolution being worse, because, you know, it's still only second gen RTX, so it's kind of shit efficiency-wise. And the fact that my PC was slowly melting my room while I did it, it just wasn't that interesting for long-term use. And of course, I ended up shelving it. And I just didn't really play RTX games again for ages. And now I'm on Linux. I've been on Linux since last February. I don't even know if RTX is supported. I've not used it. I have like done Blender renders, so like I know, okay, cool, I have like NVIDIA Optics, for example, still works. That's great. But I haven't played an RTX game to my memory at all. The only thing I have done is upscaling in a few games that like basically require it to run, but even then I don't enjoy it. Yeah. I did all that, and it was still kind of mid. So yeah, the whole thing of like, oh, RTX, love it or loathe it, it's like, no, I'm pretty sure most people who actually give a shit kind of loathe it. Not necessarily because not because the tech isn't cool, but because it's just underwhelming. It's slow, it's inefficient, it sets my house on fire. It costs way too much fucking money. Not to mention the electricity bill. What do you mean? Electricity is getting more and more expensive because of the AI rollouts? Oh, by the way, these cards are actively used for AI trading. Ah! I could go on. It's infuriating. So yeah, I kind of... The fact that I have an RTX card is... the only purpose it serves over the GTX 1660 Super that came before us at this point is the fact that it's a newer GPU, so it can run slightly more intensive games. Like, I can run Deadlock better now than I would have if I kept it the 1660. Whoopee. How exciting. And that's it. I got nothing further on this card. It is hotter, it is bulkier, and ooh boy. And again, I've mentioned this before, I do not like Nvidia. I'm mixed with AMD. I'm not even a huge fan of Intel, to be completely honest, because they, you know, they kind of got their fingers in shit as well, and Nvidia owns like 10% of them, if I understand correctly. So like, you support any of those companies to buy a CPU or a GPU, you're still kind of funding this fucking rat race in some capacity, which is miserable. Like, really putting the... like, sending home there is no ethical consumption under capitalism right there. Fucking remarkable. Anyways, chat. My humble opinion is that ray tracing is only worth a performance hit if you want nice slicing like in like Blender. Yeah, for what it's worth, the RT cores can be put to work in an actual Blender render. So like, yeah, it's... you know, it's a tech where it has its uses, but then the thing it's actually marketed for is like insanely oversold. It's so weird. But it's the future. Yeah, whatever. Why is that road gone? Or is that just the world's freshest asphalt I've ever seen in my life? I don't know. Yeah, ray tracing is rather hard on the GPU. It is indeed. It is indeed. Alright, you've reminded me of an RTX project that I hate. Half-Life 2 RTX. I remember that seeming... Woo! Boy. Oh, you fucker. Did you hit my trailer? Oh. My cargo's not damaged, though. That's okay. Fucking hell. I remember finding that interesting when I first heard about it. Was that finished? I don't remember. Wasn't a big selling point for that was like, oh, they were using like Nvidia's Omniverse thing or whatever? Aren't a bunch of the... I don't know, am I thinking of Half-Life 2 RTX or am I thinking of our Nvidia's demo project with like Oblivion or whatever, where the textures are AI generated? I have no idea if they're doing that with Half-Life 2 RTX, to be clear. But yeah, I kind of... I'm whatever on that. I think sometimes, unless there is like an artistic benefit to it somehow, just playing the game with the existing textures is like kind of fine. But I'm also like, I'll admit I'm in a weird category. Like, a lot of people use high-res Minecraft resource packs. I use a fucking Minecraft alpha resource pack, so I get the really bright, pretty grass. So I do not speak for most people. I can accept that. Turn off my indicator, don't need that. And also the thing where raster performance is left to the wayside on more recent cards in favor of upscaling. Exactly! Stop fucking with existing features! I'm going feral! Ah! Yeah, I really don't enjoy that. It's so fucking annoying. Like, tech companies at the moment, by and large, are so ridiculously fucking out of touch. It is insane. Like, yeah, people want prettier games. Yeah, people want more performing games, but like, find, I don't know, find somewhere in the middle or something. It's a weird discussion. Anyway, protective clothing. That's a new one. From Shenzhen, Poland, to Salzburg, Austria. Sure. You got it, boss. It's not finished yet. From what I've heard, the performance is atrocious, like even worse than you'd think. Oh, cool. So it would be unplayable. Great. I'm really glad we're putting in all this effort to have games that you can't play. It's so weird. It's so weird. AI people are kind of weird. I've got a lot of thoughts on that. I'm not going on. I don't want to go on another AI tirade. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, boss. I don't want to do another AI rant while trucking. I'm so sick of it. You ever get so sick of something that eventually, or you ever been sick of something for so long that you get sick of talking about how sick of it you are? That's me. That's me as fuck right now. Shenzhen, Poland. Can you give Aridoodle a slice of cake? I have a slice of cake and I want her to have the same experience. I would love a slice of cake. I actually had pancakes earlier. Which is nice. Pancakes with a little bit of, was it chocolate chips melted into them with some cinnamon and sugar. That's our usual pancake affair, cinnamon and sugar in this house. Very sweet pancakes. Unplayable without upscaling and maybe frame gen. Like, just say it's not playable. It was like, oh, but with frame gen and upscaling, it run. No. No, dude. Fuck off. Leave me alone. I think it's because they made the models absurdly detailed for no reason. Yeah, but then you can, like, fucking sniff Kleiner's ball hairs or whatever the fuck, right? You can see them so clearly. They're right there. Ugh. Unrelated, but I don't think I realized the RM Melody Live OST was... I would not call it OST, but yeah, the unofficial soundtrack was pulled from Stray until this stream, and I'm learning a lot of things about the vibe Stray seems to be going for. To be clear, this is one of the two Stray albums. This is I think the Intradiegetic Music album from Morusk, as you can see. So this is all like the stuff that plays on like little radios and speakers around the cities and whatnot. The actual like oh no, is it extra diegetic or intradiegetic? I think this is extra. No, interdiegetic. The regular soundtrack is a lot more what you'd expect of a soundtrack, I suppose, and also has a fantastic vibe. Cannot remember the artist name. Jan van der something, I think it starts with the C. I'm so sorry, I don't remember. But if you were to buy the Stray OST on Steam, actually, you get both albums, which is exactly how I obtained this soundtrack. Didn't I bought the Stray OST at the finale, like during the finale stream, I remember. It's in the VOD, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, amazing soundtrack. But yeah, the in-world vibes are very kind of cool and relaxed, but then sometimes, you know, shit gets more emotional or stressful even, and that's when the other music comes into play. It's very nice though. Between this and Pikuniku soundtrack, we're gonna have quite a selection here. I think we should ban frame gen when talking about performance. Actually, upscaling to fuck required upscaling for 30 plus FPS. Yeah, I am perfectly fine with people saying, oh, you know, you can use frame gen or upscaling to get a little bit extra oomph out of your game, because I'm not willing to use it for a little extra oomph. It's just not my style. But if other people get the ability to do so with the hardware they paid for already, you do you. But if you use it like a crutch and you use that as the base performance metrics for your game, like Nvidia's been very, very deliberate in their marketing tactics for frame gen and upscaling. Like they're very, very inclined to make you not know whether or not FrameGen or upscale is being used. It's supposed to just be inferred. It's supposed to be the default setting that you use all the time. And it's such a hack. Like, from the message from earlier, I do believe that the raster performance is getting worse, and all this fucking upscaling and FrameGen is to, like, prop up the shit that they demolished from underneath. And for what? So you can announce...
It's time to
basically
drink
so you
water.
can...
It's time to drink water.
It's basically so you can announce newer, shinier hardware with a new and shiny feature, with no actual real benefit. Like, there was a point when I was thinking that NVIDIA, once this whole AI thing blew over, they would actually, like, take their massive fucking R&D budget that they now have and just make an actually really solid, innovative GPU. I'm actually not convinced that they will now. I think they're just going to be a fucking tech grift company forever until they die. And die they should. The company, to be clear, not necessarily the people. Because fuck them. What have they done good for us lately? Companies are not your friend. Anyways, yes, water. It's time to drink water. You know the deal, everyone. If you have water with you, you should drink it. And if you don't have water, you should definitely go get some because it's fucking hot. And water's good for you. It has been stupid hot lately, and it doesn't help that Ireland is a very humid country. Because, you know, we're a small island. There's a lot of water around us. So it gets really warm. We're kind of averaging 25 degrees Celsius this week, which may not sound like much if you're over in, say, the States or some other inland EU nation. But try that with like 80% humidity on average. Try all that heat where the air is just basically sweating all over you. It's not pleasant. It's really not pleasant. Even the air-conditioned office that I spent 7-8 hours in sitting in today was not coping well under that. And I was like struggling to stay awake by the end of the day. And I got good sleep too. But it was just like that bad. It was horrible. We're averaging 40 C here. I would love to know the humidity if you can. Because that is a big thing. It's temperature and humidity are like really, really big factors. Particularly the dew point. Because that's how hot the sweat on your brow is going to be, minimum. It's real nice. I hope the AI bubble takes in video with it. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Where I live, it's been raining like nonstop for the past month. It's overwhelming the city's stormwater system. Yay! Hooray! Yeah, we're reportedly supposed to have like a really big storm kind of towards the end of the week. I really hope that happens because we need some fucking thunder and lightning to clap out all the humidity in the air. That's usually what happens here. Like, it gets stupid hot, stupid humid, and a big old storm comes around and blasts the atmosphere away and like reshuffles it. And we end up with, like, even if it's still really hot, it's at least not as humid air. So we might get to closer to like 20-50% humidity by that point. And at that point, we could probably take 28 degrees Celsius, and it would still be hot, but it wouldn't be sweaty, which is better. There's a red weather warning in my location for the next 4 days. The fucking Nintendo Wii Weather Channel Red Giant creepypasta or whatever the fuck. Not creepypasta, no. Analog car thing. It's so silly calling that on analog harder. Anyways. There's some specific clip on YouTube. All the water being boiled off by the data centers is going to me. I do wonder... Oh, wow. 63% in your room? That's rough. That's not fun. Yeah, not that far off us. That's real bad. My condolences. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. I don't know how many, like... So, Ireland has data centers. It has facilities for data centers. But I'm not aware how much of that is, like, bossed up by AI companies. I've been hearing increasing rhetoric against the deployment of AI data centers in this country, and I don't know how much of that is like just in case kind of fear protesting, or hey, they're doing it now and we need them to stop kind of deal. I actually don't know that specific detail. But we do have data centers around here. There's one nice company in particular that does like co-location that I've been considering when I'm actually in a position where co-location would make any fucking sense for me. Currently it does not, but it could be cool in the future. Build a really nice server and then I just kind of ship it off to a place with really nice bandwidth where they basically give me like a lot of security and uptime guarantees. It's pretty nice. Better than running it out of my house. For home servers and stuff, like I'd absolutely run it out of house, but you know, things like, I don't know, game servers, Git forges, that's not the kind of stuff you want to run in a home network necessarily. Suboptimal. Time to run a Fetty instance on Ari's home Wi-Fi? No one tell her. It's possible. Like, it would run fine. It's just the uptime I'm concerned about. Now that we're on fiber, at least, it would run fine. I would self-host more stuff on my home server, but I don't want to make my home IP address public. Very reasonable. Absolutely reasonable. This is why you do like VPN tunneling and whatnot to expose your services through like another node, like a really cheap node. That's usually the way a lot of people circumnavigate that one. Yep, literally the thing I said, small VPS to self-hosted VPN. That's it, that's the ticket. Right, so we talked about me being employed, we talked about Steam Machine, had another little cry about AI, because of course. What else can we talk about? I really want a non-AI topic. Frankly, even give me a non-tech one. Oh man. Wouldn't hurt. Day after day after... Oh yeah! I can talk about that, can I? Yeah, okay. Hey, everyone, right fucking now, Tad C spoilers are ahead. If you've not watched the finale, I'm so sorry, but you should really go watch that. In fact, tell you what you can do. You can mute this stream. Please don't close it. Keep my viewership going, please, pretty please. But mute the tab. Go over to the Glitch Productions YouTube channel and go watch the finale. It's worth it. And I'm gonna be here for another hour, so you can come back after the finale's over and give us your full thoughts. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated for the pin message. Totally real spoiler, King R has a 12 pack. Yeah, real as fuck. I suggested Tansy finale, but unfortunately Kane is an AI. Oh no! Oh, fuck, it's another AI discussion. Shit! Falls for the bait every fucking time. They give Ginger beer in this one. Yeah. Oh man. Where do I begin with that? Welcome to the goddamn digital. Where the fuck did he go? Love that fucking video. So stupid. Yeah, where do I begin? It was fucking fantastic. I can't remember if I talked about this on the stream after me watching it. My spoiler-free review was every single time I've gone into a movie, my entire life, I have finished the popcorn bucket. Or at the very least, I got very, very close to finishing it. This is the first movie in my entire life where I still had like half the popcorn bucket left because I was so engrossed and I didn't want to make any noises by crunching the popcorn. So I just locked the fucking... I sat down and listened. That was what I did. I walked out of there and I was like scoffing down popcorn as we were leaving the aisles. It was really funny. Yeah, so I also have a new appreciation... Spoilers at this point. Very much so. I have a very strong appreciation now for Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. No reason in particular, of course. Been very much enjoying that song. I cannot wait. Oh my god, I can't wait until like all the remaining soundtrack releases for the series. If I recall correctly, the soundtrack currently available for listening ends at like episode 5 or something? No, 4, I think. We get the pilots. I think we have episode 2 and then 3 and 4, if I recall correctly. So yeah, I'm really, really fucking excited, especially to get the last 2 episode soundtracks. Oh man, those are gonna be so fucking good. I learned Stevie Wonder is alive today. That's awesome. I hope Bro's doing well. Bro deserves to do well. Are you streaming a split screen Tadsy finale in Euro Truck? Yeah, I will crash so many times. I may have paused on the Riley article in Kane's presentation and read the whole thing. Oh. Oh yeah, I haven't actually done that yet. I haven't paused to like read through, but I know some people have, and from what I've heard, it's just really cool shit and like little bits of lore. And of course, like none of them are aware about the circus at all, not even remotely, which like makes sense. I don't think even Kinger knows about the circus, or like, you know, his human counterparts. I wish Jax would have got off 4chan. Fucking real. Yeah. Poor Jax. Totally real spoiler. The computer running the circus had internet access the whole time, and the big Jax reveal is that he was a channer. No! Grant Best. Yes, Grant Best. Oh man. What a beautiful finale. What a beautiful show. Like, Gooseworks did such a fucking amazing job with that. Goose and like all of the team at Glitch. Of course, you know, it's Gooseworks' brainchild. So #1 credit there, but also like that wouldn't have come together in the way that it did without the amazing work from the animators and the musicians and probably assistant writers, I'm almost certain, and the voice actors. Like, fuck, dude. As I understand, I think Gooseworks was the lead storyboard artist, so that's also cool. The main takeaway from Tadsy, free Wi-Fi is evil. Yeah, the Wi-Fi thing was interesting. I've purposely not thought too hard on how that would work, like in a semi-real scenario, because you know, I sometimes it's okay to just enjoy the magic and not worry too much about, oh, is this real? Is this realistic? The fucking the Gabe quotes, you know. You know, someone, you know, pointing out a game feature and then someone saying that's not realistic, and he goes like, okay, realism is when I go to buy or write a list of things I want to buy from the store. I don't consider that fun. I don't want to play video games for realism. I play games because they're fun. You know, we watch fictional shows because they're fun. I should have pulled over to get fuel, but guess we're not doing that, are we? Next stop. Oh god, that was some tilt, wasn't it? Ideally don't have that happen again. Let's really get another repair on this after this delivery. That wouldn't hurt. Kane speaking calmly gave me goosebumps. Such a good voice. Like, holy fuck. What an amazing job done there. The voice actor's name is slipping me, but I literally read a whole fucking Blue Sky thread from him yesterday, I think, where he was just like giving his thoughts on the series as a whole. Like what certain things meant, at least to... Can you fuck off? You ran into my chair. Okay, I was on a fucking bypass lane. That is illegal. I will take the L on that one. That, I think, is on fire. That is on fire. That's interesting. I don't remember what I was saying now. Anyways. Oh, yeah. I was reading a thread from the voice actor, and it was a wonderful thread to read. Even if I don't, like, necessarily agree with the thoughts on, like, what happened and how to interpret and whatever. It's, you know, you don't have to agree to find it cool, right? It can be an interesting concept even if it doesn't necessarily line up with the way you interpret it. That's the one plot hole I noticed. Wasn't that computer from like the 90s? Yeah. I interpret it as the PC having a wireless transmitter and him seeing the packets is the wall. So him breaking it is reverse engineering WLAN. Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that. A creative AI could probably, given enough time and effort, like learn how to reverse engineer packet data. Because if I recall correctly, the computer, yeah, from the 90s, Wi-Fi would not have been commonplace, and I don't see why an AI research lab like CNA would have had one. It wouldn't have necessarily benefit their work. My theory, if you want my actual kind of rationale for it, is we know that a real estate agent had been through the building because Ragath is there, and that's her background. That's Susie's background. So, you know, someone was going through, put on this little headset, and was like, oh, cool, quirky little headset. The building possibly got sold. The hardware as well possibly got sold off to someone. Or, here's a theory, CNA still exists, right? In any case, I'm not going to dig into that one too much, but in any case, it's entirely possible. I mean, obviously, the hardware is still in commission, so either someone's paying a very redundant electricity bill, or that server has like changed hands over time. It's entirely possible that the server has shut down and rebooted with its drives just like moved into different machines over time. And some very not observant at all sysadmins do not notice the fucking, like... oh man, I gotta stop going this fast. Yeah, it's possible some very not observant at all sysadmins are just, like, completely oblivious to the human minds being simulated and consuming processing power on this system. An ever-growing number, mind you, because I still believe the abstractions are taking a decent amount of processing, even if they're... I shouldn't be allowed to drive, bro. Fuck me, man. But yeah, so the basic overarching theory is the hardware could have been upgraded over time, including, but not limited to, a wireless receiver of some kind. Or a wireless antenna, possibly an entire... Well, actually, here's a theory. The building could have just gotten a Wi-Fi access point. Because if you think about it, Kane would have had... Kane seems to have, like, full control over the system... to some extent, whatever system that he's running on. Oh god, the fucking truck is stuck because I ran into it. You bastard. Alright, moving on. So stupid. Anyways. Yeah, when you think about it, a wireless access point is a receiver and transmitter. So, if Kane has any amount of network access... and an access point just got plugged into a network switch that Kane has access to, you can hijack the thing. And it's possible that the only reason he never poked at that until that point in the finale was because he was too preoccupied with the humans that he already had under his control, or under his, we'll say control, fuck it. And also, like, it's very obvious as well after the discoveries that he made that he really was not versed at all in the world of the humans. Basically, all he knew were these, like, various photos of the outside world, and that was all he had to really base things off. And, like, I have a theory that he'd pick up, like, maybe some pop culture references and whatever from the minds of the humans then trapped in the circus in some capacity. But yeah, I think he would have been too distracted at that point to actually go poking around at that, because it doesn't seem like, I mean, bro is purged. If anything, he should have had less capabilities than he did prior to that point. So it's really interesting that he suddenly got that access then, and I think it's just because he had a clearer head to even notice that in the first place. That's a theory I've got for how that kind of fits into the whole story, continuity-wise. Ugh, apologies, I gotta fucking steer this thing in properly. There we are. This should be good. And... close enough. It's time to take your mandatory break. That's interesting. Oh, mandatory break. That's what they call it. Not you're falling asleep on the fucking road. I love how I did not get a damage knock on this. I guess it's because it wasn't fragile materials. Yeah, so we're going to find a rest stop and somewhere to repair, because that hurts. Every part of that hurts. Oh, don't tell me we don't even have... Okay, no, we have repair and rest here. Good, good. Yeah, overarching theory, place eventually got upgraded with Wi-Fi hardware, because that's the only way Kane would have physically been able to interact with all that stuff. Oy vey, man. And whenever that installation did happen, Kane just didn't notice because he was preoccupied with the stuff going on in his little world. That's my thinking. My headcanon is that the circus is being run on the on-site server rack. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it must have been a server, right? Like, they were running fucking big AI models. It probably wasn't like a run-of-the-mill desktop computer. I'm sure Kinger had a terminal. Like, that's kind of what he had. He had like a little desktop computer that he would interface with. But I would wager that that was not actually the hardware running Kane and the circus. I think that was just some really big beefy server that they had, at least for the time. And for some reason it never got uninstalled. Or never got retired. Or even if it got upgraded, I guess with the upgrades, because it was already running on such light hardware, the existing stuff running on there probably wouldn't... I'm just going to go here. The existing stuff running on there probably would have meant, like, less and less in terms of system resource usage. They just kind of left it. Another interesting idea. So here's another theory. I don't know how this would work on a tech level, like short of Docker containers existing at that point in history, but we're going to ignore that. But I think it could be possible that Kane had like very scoped access to certain things. So, sorry, I'll reword that. Kane and everything on his plane of existence, I suppose, including all of the characters in the circus as well, are running in like a sandbox space that has access to very particular things and kind of not a whole lot else. So there could be a whole host of other things being done on that server, and there's just been this little like background process just sipping resources for ages, and it's been kind of ambiguous as to what exactly has been going on inside. And that's why, you know, the outside world and the circus never really collide beyond that scene, because they both kind of stay out of each other's way by circumstance. It's a very awkward way of putting it, so apologies if it is very, like, awkwardly worded, but hopefully that explains a bit. I think the heat is getting to me. That's really not helping. Like, I don't know if you can hear me, like, trailing off a whole bunch, but, ugh, I could be doing better right now. Yeah, I do find that funny. New theory, Tadsy is a Docker container that a sysadmin forgot to prune. That's amusing. The main takeaway from Tadsy, Kane is Claude Fable, evil. I don't think Gooseworks looked into the logistics of whether a server from the 90s supported IEEE 802.11n. He's a trans woman, of course. I'm joking. I think the terminal Scratch had would be exposed, hence the new scans. True, yeah. I mean, yeah, even the fucking headset is still, like, accessible. So maybe someone is just paying a ludicrously, maybe not expensive, but ludicrously unnecessary electricity bill. Here's another idea. Interesting theory. Someone from CNA does know what's going on in the circus and has remained a passive observer, has chosen not to play God, but knows that something is going on in there, even if they don't necessarily understand what it is, and they have deliberately kept everything going. That's a very interesting theory. Could be neat. I don't know. I don't necessarily think for the sake of the narrative that that's had a whole lot of thought given into it, because the thing that's really important about Tadsy is not necessarily how the world is sustained, but what happens in the world. So I can forgive them brushing over that detail. She was too busy making the trans text overt in a way that online fandom would definitely pick up on. Hate it when I upload my brain scan to random S3 buckets and it experiences the horrors as it happens. Kane had scoped access as a Lisp machine as far as I see it. Him breaking that is finding a bug in the interpreter. Oh, interesting. See, I know very little about Lisp, so my suspension of disbelief is like great for this. Ari, sleepy Ari melody. Fucking true. I think I'm gonna sleep good tonight. One thing I'm actually quite excited for is how easy it's gonna be for me to do a thumbnail tonight for this stream. I'll have this uploaded right away, methinks. Oh, can I sleep here? Nope. Can you sleep here? No? What? You're telling me I could turn off the engine, but not that I can sleep. That's very strange. Maybe if I pull back here? No, I'm gonna hit something. Yeah, that's not nearly... Yeah, I'm looking... Oh, I'm looking for a rest spot. Leave me alone. Okay, maybe I do this. And I just reverse in. Lisps are usually VM languages with very limited I/O due to being functional. Oh. I should fuck around with Lisp. That'd be funny. Imagine that. I remember the posts of people freaking out like, what the fuck? Kane runs on Lisp? That was very amusing. Episode 8 had a lot of very funny revelations. They were also used a lot for AI in the past, thanks to them treating code as data. Yes! Yeah, I also don't know how the fuck that... Well, like, what does that even mean, code as data? Like, do you actually know what that means, or is that just the buzzword term everyone used? Right, I should probably find a job. A job for me to do. We got time for one more. Cargo market. Yeah, 16 tons of furniture from Salzburg to Duisburg. It means the code itself is a data structure that the interpreter uses. I would love to understand that more. It's making a little bit more sense, but I'd love to know, like, the actual, like, you know, how is that written? How does the computer work with it? Imagine functions as code, but for all code. Well, functions are code. What? Wait, no, you've lost me now. Oh, functions as first-class data. But I still don't understand how the function can be just data, because the function is logic, not state. That's what confuses me. To be honest, some people seeing a simulation process running might not really worry. Even knowing it uses brain scans, it's just training data. Maybe no one sees it as having anyone conscious in there. Yeah, it's possible that the minds are being studied and they're just making like no fucking progress on the human side, and they are completely unaware that these are like living, breathing beings living out a whole fucking life in a universe. That'd be a funny concept. Here we are. Da 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 da. The data structure itself exposes a way to be ran, so an expression might be interfaced with eval. This is also helpful for macros. I am definitely gonna have to see like actual Lisp code in order to understand that better. I'm curious actually, how does that differentiate from JavaScript? Because if I poke at a class that has functions, or an instance of a class that has functions, I can also read it as such, right? It's a data structure that has a callable function in it. Imagine if JavaScript could manipulate an if statement at runtime. Yeah, so that sounds like what I just described, but on roids. Imagine if JavaScript were good. Yeah, the internet should run on Lisp. Definitely. Yeah, I just don't understand how that would, like, function practically. I mean, evidently they did it, because Lisp exists, and it's hailed for literally that. But that is interesting. It almost did, actually. The web almost used a scheme variant. Oh, that's crazy. Lisp and JavaScript are actually so close. That's horrifying. Imagine I do a dev stream just learning Lisp for the bit. Title the stream something insanely clickbaity, like, I'm gonna program Kane! Like, no, but... You gotta have some class A brain tumors to figure that one out. Apparently. Sample size 1, of course. I realize we did actually get Scratch's name, didn't we? Because we get to see the process of him being, like, initialized into the circus, which is pretty cool. This is now a Lisp stream. I only just saw that. Actually, could an active mod perhaps put up a poll? Because I'm very curious. How would most people here, and I'm keeping in mind, these are like my most viewed streams, so I can get a decent metric for how effective this would be as a stream category for me. How many of y'all would actually enjoy me doing regular, not necessarily dev streams, but basically like a... Whereas for gaming, I do variety games, I also could do like variety just tech exploration stuff. I'd call it like Ari is learning, because I've already got that as a name, I guess. But like making it into an actual mainline thing that I do on Twitch, like as parts of my schedule. That could be really cool. Because I don't know if y'all saw, but the schedule for this week actually involves a Caden live exploration on Wednesday. Going off of the success of the GIMP stream, I kind of want to see if I can carry that forward a little bit more. But if that's actually a thing that we're interested in on the large, then that would be very, very cool. So it could be, you know, just trying out cool software that I've not really known a lot about, or something that I've been skeptical about, but I'm looking to explore and want to show my trials and tribulations online. Or it could just be a dev stream, or it could be, you know, whatever. Basically, it's not gaming, and it's more focused on what's going on my desktop kind of deal. Thank you, Julia. Appreciate it. Is backseeing allowed for the Caden live stream? I think we're going to go off similar rules that we did for the GIMP one. It's probably okay, but if I tell people to shut the hell up, I expect them to shut the hell up. I probably won't, to be clear. I will probably ignore backseating on stylistic choices, because here's the thing. For the GIMP stream, I very much knew the thumbnail I wanted to make. So I knew the style. The only thing I was uncertain about, wow, 4 out of 4 said yes. Okay. Evidently, a lot of viewers have this stream in the background and are not voting, which is fair enough. That's fine, but I find that amusing. Yeah, so like I knew the thumbnail style that I wanted, so if someone had said, oh, I don't think you should do that, you should try this thing, I would probably just ignore it, unless it was actually good advice, but chances are I would ignore it. But if you actually give me advice on how to do the thing I'm looking to do, and it's like actually useful, yeah, I don't see why not. Oh, missed the poll. Whoops. Dev streams are nice. Sweet. 5 out of 5, baby. It's like half the viewers all saying yes. Okay, pretty solid. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I will keep that in mind. 1 out of 5 didn't notice the poll because Twitch's UX is subpar. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, 6. We have 6 out of 6, I presume. Actually, that wasn't really an opinion, so... Well, it was an opinion on Twitch's UX, but not actually for the poll. 6 out of... Julia, you're getting timed out, unfortunately. We are going to be putting you in the box, and it will be closed. Fuck! Yeah. So that's something I've been curious about. Maybe I'm on the wrong road, aren't I? Yeah. How much did that fuck me up? Did that say 8 hours before? Yeah, what's the difference here? What? I don't think that changed anything. Huh? Yeah, it all just goes through here again. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, 8 in-game hours. This might take a while. Oh shit, we're gonna be a little bit over schedule here. Definitely gonna speed through this one because here's the thing. Unlike the past couple weeks, I actually have to physically go to work tomorrow, so I definitely want to make sure that I end this on time. Oh yeah, so something that would be interesting could be like exploring new languages or something. Like, I don't know, exploring a functional language like Haskell or something. I've poked at Haskell before. I wasn't a huge fan. I can't remember. No, okay. I was gonna say something about Elixir, but no, Elixir is not functional. That's not its claim to fame. Its claim to fame is it's on the Beam VM, if I recall correctly, and that means like you essentially make like ready to fail little components and whatever is how I understand it. So it's good for like distributed systems, I guess. But no, like an actual like whole different programming paradigm, just to kind of like stretch my brain a little bit, could be interesting. Dependency stuff in Haskell is pain. I mean, figures, yeah, right? Most libraries are probably working with stateful stuff, and it seems very antithetical to functional programming to have that. That's something that has always confused me. Is one of the reasons why I'd want to explore it, just to see a bit more. Like, pure functional programming doesn't make a crazy amount of sense to me, because the whole idea is you are avoiding states. But the thing is, the only thing that actually matters in a computer is state. The computer is a big fucking state machine. You have memory that you're reading through and executing instructions based on the memory, which then may do stuff to storage or put stuff on screen. Like, all of those are very, very stateful things. So that's what monads are for. Okay. Right, so I've heard that word before. No less confusing. Functional programming is for math nerds who think state is smelly. More stuff in Rust could be fun. I don't write nearly enough Rust. I'm either writing like web technology stuff or writing experimental stuff in C or Go, actually. Go is like the one serious language I use that isn't JavaScript at this point. But I would like to do a bit more Rust. As much as I do love C, I really do adore C, Rust is pretty cool. For, like, C is great for learning that low-level shit. So, like, I would continue using C for, like, Vulkan development and stuff like that. But if I were, not development, but Vulkan learning, I would continue using C for that. But if I'm actually, like, making an engine that uses Vulkan, or, like, a game engine or an app engine or what have you, if I'm doing something, like, for production in Vulkan, I'm going to use Rust. Almost certainly. Just makes sense to me. Monads are a painful concept to grasp. Once you finally get it, everything becomes a monad. That sounds horrifying. What a terrifying thing to do to my brain. I'm overtaking you. There we go. Lots of beautiful sights to see around here, huh? I don't pay nearly enough attention to it because I'm too busy talking about the thing I'm talking about. But I love this area in particular. It's very, like, lovely little fields and trees and whatnot. Oh, what the fuck? When all you have is an endofunctor, almost... Oh, sorry. Ugh, I'm trying not to crash. When all you have is an endofunctor, everything looks like a monad. What the fuck is an endofunctor? That sounds like a thing I'd be diagnosed with. I'm sorry, you have endofunctors. It's terminal. The only treatment is monads. Your mom is a monad that creates sex. I had it there last night. Oh, Julia. I love her dearly, though she is very silly. Yes! Don't yes me. Ooh, yeah. About the Caden livestream, I have a very particular idea of what I want to do for that one. I have a short that I have been meaning to edit for 6 bajillion years. I think it's actually before the hiatus, where the first Drink All the Water Redeem was claimed. And it was just such a hilarious fucking series of moments. I think it would make a wonderful short. But, of course, much like my thumbnails, I'd have to pull out a completely different system in order to edit it. And that sucks. Not that DaVinci Resolve just doesn't work on my system at all, but no, it kind of doesn't work on my system, actually. No, it's just kind of shit. And also, especially coming off of my experience with GIMP, I'm warming up more to the idea of using like the right tools for the right job. So I'm not even sure if I necessarily need DaVinci Resolve's compositing. Because, to be clear as well, I actually have some things I really don't fucking like about DaVinci Resolve's compositing. It can be really fucking annoying to deal with sometimes, and it was a big hassle when making the Peak video. But there's a couple things workflow-wise that I want to probe Kdenlive for. And if it can't do it, I will be disappointed, but not all hope will be lost. Because I would be very curious to see how easily could I integrate Blender into a video production pipeline, because Blender does have a nonlinear editor component. It's gonna depend. It's gonna depend. So the thinking, the long-term thinking, is I use Kdenlive for like an initial cut edit pass at baseline. If I can, I would love to get like text templates done. Where, okay, if you've watched my main channel videos, you know my subtitle style. I want to use those subtitles, basically one for one. Much like with GIMP, I am not okay with concessions in the art. The art must remain, or it is a no-go. Number one. But yeah, so I get as much of that done as I can in Kdenlive in like a first pass, and then I take the exports of that and I funnel that into maybe something that's much better at compositing, like Blender. And yes, Blender is not a good video editor. To be clear, I am not saying I want to use Blender to cut up videos. No. I've actually even very briefly attempted that, and that was the worst experience I've ever had. I think Blender knows they don't have a good video editor. I think they were saying that they wanted to work on that a lot more, but it's going to take a long time for them to get there. And that's okay. I'll let them cook, but until then I'm not using Blender as a video editor, and frankly I don't think it needs to be. Like, Blender is great at doing what Blender does. What we need is just a competent video editing software that's maybe nicely integrated with Blender, but it doesn't need to be Blender. In fact, that is a cool idea, actually. If Kdenlive were like super, super nice, and then you could just like drag on some Blender stuff, almost like Adobe's thing, I don't remember what it's called, where you can drag like a Photoshop file into an After Effects project or an After Effects composition, and then drag that composition into your Premiere project. Like, really cool shit like that. That would be wild, but holy fuck, the coordination between KDE and Blender would need to be huge on something like that. But yeah, basically what I want to do, even if it takes me a while to do it, like, look, it's a new workflow, it's going to take a long time anyways. As long as it's not disgustingly long and has a whole bunch of weird, hacky, like, nuisances, if I can make a full Ari Melody style short with no concessions in the style, then that will be a very sufficient experiment for me in my slow transition to making everything I use open source software. Hooray! And then I guess after that, the digital audio workstation will be my next target. Fucking figuring out how well LMMS can be used in my pipeline or some shit like that. Probably not. I know they say it's the artist, not the tools, but I've never heard of an artist that I like using LMMS. Not to say anything disparaging about artists that use LMMS, I genuinely just don't know a single artist who does use it. Don't you use Bitwig? So I currently use Ableton Live, but I have acquired, legitimately, I've bought a copy of Bitwig Studio. So I do have that, and once the upcoming album is wrapped up, I will be migrating my workflow over to Bitwig. I'm kind of starting now, like I'm experimenting more with Bitwig. Like if I need to do like a audio record or play around with some stuff, I actually do it on Linux in Bitwig. The problem at the moment is that I'm not able to use a lot of my plugins that I would normally use, which is a bit of a deal breaker for doing actual music production on the thing. But if I'm able to at some point, I mean, as I understand it, the bridge tool's available for, say, getting something like a serum or whatever, which is a very critical part of my workflow. To get that working, that software is either not maintained anymore or isn't maintained for like outside of some very specific circumstances. Like it's really hacky, and I don't want my workflow to be hacky, or like even if it has to be hacky, I really don't want it to be built upon software hacks. I'll put it that way. If there's some kludginess to my workflow, but it's like, oh, but it's the best way for me to do this thing, okay, fair enough. But if it's a case of the technology here just kind of is underdeveloped and that's why the workflow suffers, I'm not into that. So we'll see. I at least have the copy of Bitwig for my Mac, so I can still transition my production workflow over to Bitwig, but it just won't be on Linux yet, is what it looks like. Oh yeah, and yes, of course, Bitwig does run on Linux. The problem, like I just said, is my plugins. The plugins don't run, and the bridge tooling doesn't really exist in the capacity I need it to. BF told me it has a very FL Studio-like feeling, but yeah, it's definitely not the same. LMMS or Bitwig? I would consider Bitwig kind of somewhere in the middle, to be honest. Leaning a bit more into Ableton. LMMS, yeah. I haven't touched that software in fucking ages. That could be an interesting stream. Yeah, we do a Caden Live one, and then we do an LMMS one. See how that goes. That'd be interesting for sure. Trying to run VSTs on Linux is the worst. Exactly! Oh, Hawaii Bridge is a piece of software that exists, and I'm very like I'm very thankful for the work that has gone into it, but again, it does not exist in the capacity I need it to in order to do the things that I do, which is really unfortunate, because if I could run Serum on Linux right now, I would be migrating, like I would be actually testing to see how much of my upcoming album I can just migrate to Bitwig within the next couple weeks. I would genuinely be like full throttle on that, because that would be insanely cool. I would be interested in a stream on Furnace Tracker. You mean like music tracker software, I presume? Never heard of Furnace before. Yeah, no, that's news to me. I've not poked around at trackers that often. It would be cool to explore, but I wouldn't put it this way. I'll probably do like a particular track within an album, like if it fits, where I just do like a very kind of chiptune-y sort of vibe. That could be cool. Okay, I'm so stretched out here, so let's just see how well this goes. Whoa, God, overshot it. No. That's unfortunate. Easy does it. Butter. Butter, baby. That's fantastic. Oh, and we're well on time. Fantastic. I actually thought we were going to be late, but no, that's perfect. Right. Last delivery. We're going to save there. We have so much money. I'm so stinking rich. 684,000. That's crazy. Right. Fun times. Let me go through the rest of the chat here. Cause I got a couple more minutes. I can hang around. Oh yeah, there are 2 water redeems. I will mark those as completed. I actually have a reward results queue that I keep up now, but only on my dashboard. I don't have it like on my second monitor yet. I used LMS years ago. From the homepage, it looks like it has not changed in 10 plus years. Oh. Yeah, LMS is like borderline unmaintained on 4Gs. Oh. Okay, well, if it is actually that bad, I probably won't even consider it. Because to be clear, like, I don't just want to go, oh, we're gonna fucking play around with the software just to goof. Like, I want to see if I can do something productive with it. Like, to be clear, the emote drawing streams was kind of me full throttling on Krita, and I still adore Krita for drawing, and I want to try painterly stuff at some point, but for now, you know, drawing, Krita is solid. GIMP is surprisingly good. I've been using LibreOffice personally for my, like, word processing and spreadsheets. It's been solid, no complaints. Especially once you get through the growing pains, like, because I've been used to Microsoft Office forever and ever, but now that I've kind of gotten settled in, I've got like a whole template done for LibreOffice Writer at this point, so I very much know my way around there at this point. But yeah, let's see. Actually, of just my not my taskbar. What do they call this panel in KDE? Task Manager? I'm not calling it a task manager. From the little panel that has all my icons on it's on the bottom of my screen. Which of these are open source software? So Dolphin File Explorer, that is open source, KDE. Firefox, I believe is open source. You can build Firefox. Yeah. Like Chrome is open source as well. Yeah. Thunderbird, I don't know how open source that is, so I'm not sure. My calendar app, Mercuro Calendar, is kinda shit, unfortunately. I wish I had nicer things to say. It has a really fucking difficult time hooking up with my CalDAV, and if you're not going to hook up to my CalDAV, you're not a functioning calendar, so Thunderbird is OSS2 IRC. Oh, neat. Discord is not open source, famously. Signal... Is the Signal app open source? I don't believe it is. Oh, it is? Oh. It is open source. Neat. I thought it was like open spec, not open source. Oh, good heavens. Steam, famously not open source. Phation, self-hosted music player, that is open source. Tidal, no. But that said, no, I do music streaming often enough at this point, yeah. Strawberry, that is open source. Obsidian, I don't think is open source, because if it were open source, by now we would have had a fork of Obsidian that actually supports hosting your own, like, cloud Obsidian thing. Yeah, Obsidian's proprietary. My terminal is console. That is open source. System settings, just KDE system settings app. Yeah, I keep that there. OBS, it's the open broadcaster software. Can we just talk for a second about how fucking awesome it is that OBS exists? Like, of all of the open source software I can think of in my workflow, OBS is the most ubiquitous. Like, nobody bats an eye at you using OBS. It's assumed that you use OBS, which is so fucking cool. Like, this is a perfect example of open source software that just did its job and did it well out the gate, so everyone flocked to it. We do not think about it being open. I don't call it the open broadcaster software, I just call it OBS, because that's all it needs to be. It's fucking fantastic. Vedotube is not open source, but it's also like a fucking solo dev and they need to put food on their family, so I'm not gonna judge that even remotely. They're still doing fantastic work and I would happily pay for the software. So I should stop talking about it and go do it. I have it in my notes. I remember from the beginning of stream. I will be asking them if this bug exists. Well, actually, no, I don't even need to ask them. If the bug exists, I will find out, and then I can flag it up again or whatever. It'll still be a market upgrade. There's a couple things, like I'm not going to radically change the AriDoodle PNG tuber, to be clear, switching over to Vedotube full, but it would open the door for me to do more interesting things with her. So that is it's something worth looking into. Inkscape would be a fun thing to poke at, actually, in another stream. Because I don't really have a solid alternative to Affinity Designer yet, but GIMP seemed to be a solid enough replacement of Affinity Photo, or for Affinity Photo, specifically on the image editing side of things. But design, Inkscape is kind of the only thing I can think of that could contend here in terms of open source. So that's worth looking at. Do I even have Kden Live installed? I don't. We'll leave it for the stream, I think. Let me double check. I don't think it was installed. Oh, it is. I'm gonna uninstall it deliberately because the point is I want to get versed from scratch. Pretend I've never fucking used the software in my life. You know the deal. Does Kden Live even launch? Oh shit, wait, was I already trying to edit the Eurotruck VOD? Okay, apparently I dumped the project by accident, but yeah, whatever. What else even is there except for OBS? Streamlabs OBS, shit. XSplit, I think old heads who were using XSplit way back in the day are still using XSplit, so they're valid. That is fair. Yeah, it's basically like OBS, other shittier OBS, and XSplit. I guess maybe some like very single purpose softwares, like I guess NVIDIA Shadowplay, or if it's still called Shadowplay, I think they got a name change at some point. I think that has a streaming function still built in, maybe. PlayStation has streaming functionality, but like in terms of like, you know, standalone desktop streaming apps, yeah, it's kind of the only ones worth talking about. Streamlabs OBS, more like Sloplabs OBS, abso-fucking-lutely. Every single time I hear someone complain about their OBS and I ask them if they're using Streamlabs and they say yes, I just tell them fucking get off. To get off Streamlabs OBS. Not serious software, unfortunately. Heaping pile of. Right. On that note, I think we're good. I think we're good for today. Thank you all for stopping by for this lovely Monday trucking stream. Let's see if I can't send y'all somewhere. Perchance. Who's alive? Claire, you've just fucking joined in at the end. What do you mean, meow? Thank you for streaming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna send y'all off to Exodrifter, who's playing Trepang? Trepang 2? Trepang Squared? The branding on this is a little curious. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but it looks like Trepang, and I have heard of that name before. Maybe someone suggested me to play it. I don't remember. Looks interesting, though. It has guns in it, so maybe you'll enjoy it. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna do that. Everyone, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. I hope you have a lovely rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever it is you hail from. And that is all for now. See you on Wednesday. Bye!